Hi, everyone. Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name's Amal, an alcoholic. Nice to be an Alcoholic Anonymous for a change. I'm also an addict, so I attend Cocaine Anonymous. I will respect the fellowship and I'll speak about alcohol. It's really nice to be here. Thank you so much for asking me. It's always an honor and a pleasure to do service. You know, Sunday is one of my favorite days because I get to do things. I get to stay at home. I get to do some chores. But you know what? Service got me where I am today. When you asked me to pick up those readings, when you asked me to look at the readings, I looked at it the last minute as I opened the book, Speed Sees It, which I had from since I was a newcomer. Those readings just stood out for me. You know, talking about acceptance, humility, and no matter how bad life is, no matter what, I've experienced all of that because you see, recovery is not a bed of roses. You know, when people come into recovery and they expect to have things, their way. They expect to get the house, the job, the husband, the kids, all of that. And when they don't get it, they become ungrateful, rest on their laurels, and they go back out there. And that is my experience working with many alcoholics. We have to. Because the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous tells me that, alcohol is only a symptom. We have to get down to causes and conditions. So I sit before you, my sobriety date is the 10th of October 2004. 2 Sundays ago, I celebrated 17 years sober by the grace of God. I would be talking about the power and the presence of God and what He's done for me in my life. And I sit here by the grace of God and I have to give credit, to my higher power, which I chose to call God. So, if anybody has a problem with that, that is your own concept of higher power. Whatever it is, for me, it's the power and the presence of God. So I sit here by that grace because what I do and everything that I do and everything that I've achieved in sobriety and all the strength and everything, doing this, doing that, going to work this morning, coming back from work, going to the park, jumping another committee, getting voted as a convention chair, getting up, coming back, doing this, doing that, that's not me. That's not me because I am an alcoholic. What I do best is get drunk. That's what I do best. I do best is get drunk and hurt other people. I'm like a tornado roaring through people's lives. So, when I came in and you guys talked about the spiritual malady, it was quite alien to me because I didn't understand those words, what a spiritual malady is. I didn't know what that means. I didn't know what the disease centers in my mind, cunning, buffering, powerful, all of those words that we use from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. I was a raging alcoholic, like I said, and I was also a crack addict for the last 16 years. And, anything to change the way I felt. So I didn't understand what you're talking about. So when I came in, I was really full of guilt and shame. I was a victim. Most of my life, I was a victim. So I was blaming my father for leaving me when I was 7, blaming my dad for being an alcoholic, blaming my mum for beating me up, not protecting me from my stepdad, blaming my stepdad for abusing me sexually, blaming my mum for having a whorehouse and being exposed to alcohol, prostitution, blaming God, blaming the devil, blaming, my country, I'm Moroccan, blaming Islam, I was a Muslim back in the days, blaming, the drug dealers, blaming the pubs, blaming people who raped me, blaming. You see, victims don't get sober, victims do not stay sober. That's my experience, being around a long time at the time. One day at a time. Today, I'm not a victim. By the grace of God, I am a Mao, I love myself, and I am a being. And there's a power greater than me, that's closer to me than breathing, that works through me, and I'm just floating through the day. And I know that today. I know that I'm not a whore. I know that I'm not a thief. I know that I'm not a bad person. I know that I'm not horrible. I'm not crazy. I'm not mad. I'm just powerless. To know that was freedom for me. I'm powerless over my alcoholism, and my life has become unmanageable. Lack of power is my dilemma. I haven't got a memory or accumulation of a week or a month ago, just like the story of Fred. That for me was freeing. You see, it's like when you go to war and you're waving the white flag. I'm saying, that's it. I'm surrendering. So I surrender to my innermost self, and I continue to surrender on a daily basis. Innermost self. How many times I sat in the pub surrendering in my mind? How many times I sat in a crack house, sitting somewhere, getting raped? I've got a problem. Look what happened to me. Feeling sorry for myself. The next day I go back and do it again. I forget all about it. I've never really surrendered within myself. I have never admitted complete defeat. There was always a reservation that one day I can have that one drink. You see, that delusion that we like other people has to be smashed. We like people that never grow new legs. And only a sponsor who's armed with the fact that can smash that delusion. Explaining that 43 pages, that consequences do not keep me from drinking. I get raped, I get beat up, I get stabbed. I'm going back to do it again. You know what I mean? Self-knowledge about us, nothing. How many of us know the big book, in and out? How many big book bashers out there drinking themselves to death? We know about people relapse, 20 years sobriety, 10 years. What we have is today. That's all we have. I cannot think through the drink. When I take the drink, I wake up somewhere 7 days later, naked with some man I don't even know who he is. So I have to surrender. I have to understand that I have no power. It's all about humility. Every step has a principle. And, those principles are just amazing. And they are there for a reason. And that reading, I can't remember all of it, but I know it talks about acceptance, humility, and I have to continue working this program to the best of my ability. Why do you think I had to jump in another committee and get another commitment as the vice chair for Convention South Central when I'm the London HNI chair, when I've got so many sponsors, when I'm the chair founder somewhere else? Why do you think I sit here not hosting meetings on a 24/7? You think I want to do that? I have to do that because I've got an illness that tells me I don't have it. I'm never cured of alcoholism. Yeah, I hear people say recovered. We can say we're recovered. I'm recovered from the hopeless state of mind and body. The first and the second edition of the big book tells me that. I haven't got the obsession. I've been to festivals, the biggest festivals in sobriety. I've been to Ibiza, I've been to Miami, I've been to the biggest rave you can imagine. My daughter's a DJ where there's millions of people. Everybody's drunk, everybody's taking cocaine, everybody, The problem doesn't exist for me. I'm neither cocky or afraid, I recoil from it like a hot flame. Drink, crack, is poison for me. I'm not envious of people that drink and get high. I feel sorry for them. And every time I used to go out with my daughter to make sure she's safe, carrying all her bits and bobs and that, I would always say, God, use me. And God always uses me. There's always someone drunk, falling on the floor, lost their phone, and I'm there looking after them. My daughter would get so angry. Here we go, Mom, please don't embarrass us. There's always a purpose. A life without a purpose is not alive. I came into sobriety on the 10th of October 2004. I had 3 children. You see, I left my children in crack houses. I left my children outside, swimming pools and school gates till midnight. And I was coming, I'm coming. What do you want? What do you like to eat? I couldn't come. You see, my powerlessness took me there. I love my children, just like you guys. I know you've done your best, but I cannot stop. Alcohol was my master. I only lived for the next drink or a drug. You see, men and women drink for their effects. Because I've had these emotional problems from the age of 9, before the age of 9, before I picked up that drink. I was always anxious about what people think, worried, full of fear, always trying to seek people's approval. That was my first addiction. Chasing people at school, as young as you can remember, 6, 7, chasing them. Please, can you be my friend? Giving them money, giving them all my little cakes, all my school food and that. I'm not even eating so they can be my friend. Please, do you love me? Please. And I'm crying when they stop talking to me. I was like begging people to love me. Recovery is an inside job. If you have a high power as your man, as your woman, the gym, the car, you're in deep shit. Sorry to swear, deep shit. Because you see, this is a supernatural program. The purpose of the book is to find the power that will solve our problems. Because this illness is bigger than man, women, sex, cars, all of that shit. Bigger than that. So I need something greater than that. It has to be something supernatural. Because no human power could stop me from drinking. The love of my kids, surely not. Social services are calling me, hi, Miss Dugadir. Your children are left at school gates. We're going to take them to care. And I'm like, hello, this is not Mr. Dugadir. This is her brother. And I'm crying at the same time while I'm drinking and licking a pipe. I'm crying my eyes out. Because I know my children's taken to care. And today my daughter's very angry. She's 30. She's had a mental breakdown just recently and she blames me. So I said to her today, come to me again. I'm waiting for her to come. Every day I'm trying to bring her here to show her some love. The pain is real for her. She remembered it like it was yesterday. She said, Mum, I'll never forget when I had to do a school play and you never turned up and I didn't have a uniform. I'll never forget when you send in all these Rasta man crazy people to pick me up and there's you. There's no sign of you. You see, how could I sit here free without the 12-step program? To free them. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. Have you had that spiritual awakening? They talk about we've entered the world of the spirit, step 10. We need to analyze that. What does that mean? You think someone like me coming from the blood dictator, from the drug house. I was in the world of the spirit. I'd probably laugh at you then or beat you up for saying that. The world of the spirit. You see, the first 9 steps I designed to waken my spirit because I was driven. The big book says selfishness and self-centeredness is the root of my trouble from a young age. Me, myself, and I, my man, my sex, my drugs, my house, my cars, all about me, and the world can go to hell. So you see, so when I work the first 9 steps, you know, they're designed to waken my spirit. So I'm no longer driven by 100 forms. I'm not waking up saying, oh my God, you know, I've just resigned from my job on the 21st of July. I was a carer working with elderly people. And the first 13 and a half years I was doing voluntary work. Most of you never got paid for it. And doing a lot of H&R from day one. Lots of hospitals and institutions going from prison to prison. Traveling about 5 hours to take 1 hour meeting, including Marsh prison. That's why I'm here today. So you see, those first 9 steps are designed to work in my spirit. So I'm not worried about the money. Because my job hasn't come through. I've just started training last week because I left my kids home alone and I got done for neglect. So I got arrested and locked up for neglect. So I've got an offense that is not spent. It's a conviction that stays there. And it comes under the act of neglect and harm a young person. I said to myself, these fucking kids, they're still following my life. And God says, Amal, you need to look what you've done to them. And he's come through now. I'm going to be a support worker working with homeless people. So I'm not really worried about the money, blah, blah, blah. You see, I was gang raped. I was put to sleep for 3 days when I was out there in the street. I woke up 3 days later. I don't know how many men raped me. I had a little boy conceived from rape. His name's Dominic. I have not seen my son. He was adopted. My son was 18, the 24th of June. I still haven't got that picture, that contact. I'm still looking. So the pain is real for me. You're sitting down there wallowing. Oh, look at me, let me have a drink. My husband walked away, let me have a drink. You know, my mum don't like me, let me have a drink. The world don't like me. What's all that about? You see, there's no page in the book that tells me that I'm going to get all of that. That 12 tells me if a man says he cannot stay sober without having his family, that's not right. Some of us don't get that. And that's why I picked up the second reading. A year my son was adopted, a year sober. A year and a half, I was diagnosed with HIV. It wasn't easy. I sit before you, I'm HIV positive. I have to take it 1 tablet every day. It's fine. But I was fuming with God. I never came here to find God. I get you guys. I get some of you don't like us. You think we're cool. So we're not religious boys. No, we're not. We're not a glam lot. Surely I'm not. I don't know about any of you. I'm a Christian, but I still make mistakes. And it says it in that reading. We're never free from anger, fear. You see, I have all of those. I have them too. Just like you. But it's what I do with them what makes the difference. That's the difference between me and you. I'm not sitting on them because I don't want to wallow. I'm not going to be angry and resentful because I won't be here. I'm just a witness, step 3-7. I won't be able to come here and share. I'll be blocked from the sunlight of the spirit. Resentment's number 1 offender. I have to forgive. I've forgiven my rapists today. I've forgiven my mum for beating me. I've forgiven my stepdad for abusing me for so many years. I've forgiven the world and its people. I have to. See, forgiveness is for me, not for them. Because when I resent you, I'm a slave to you. You're in my mind 24/7. I'm not free. I'm going to smoke crack and I'm going to drink. Either, you know, I have to be willing to go to any length, you know, to accept this spiritual path or to die an alcoholic death. I had to surrender. For me, surrender came through a very large window of pain because I was finished. I don't want to swear. There was no easier, softer way. Jails, institution, death, losing kids. I had to. So like I said, the first 9 steps are designed to wake in my spirit. So I'm not wallowing. I'm not afraid. Money, it's been 4 months. I'm not this. I'm not. That will not mine be done. God rest and do some big service. Maybe God wanted me to work with more responsibility. I don't know why God did that. I can't tell you, but I know it works. It really does. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. So I surrender and I continue to surrender. I have got a threefold illness. When my spiritual malady, when I'm in that, you know, that sense of separation, when I'm in the middle of that stage character, if people would do what I say, life would be great. You know, 1 minute I'm indignant, 1 minute I'm gracious, you know, producer of confusion rather than harmony. Oh, why doesn't my kids like me? Oh, why is my sponsors keep relapsing? Why is the meeting not running well? Why is the chair not sharing about God? I don't want to hear any of that. If you're my sponsee and you've gone to a meeting, don't call me and tell me the share because I'll be very angry. Everybody's giving you something. They got out self and shared. Everybody's spirituality is different. Everybody's in different levels. God created us different. None of us are the same. So you see, I surrender. So when I'm in that, the second part, go and take one, just like the story of Fred. The third part, I can't stop. So I have to surrender. Solid foundation. Step one, I'm building a house. That's how I look at it. I need to understand what I suffer off. Otherwise, I cannot stay sober. I need to know that I'm not sitting here because of my own ego and power, because I'm better than you. I did a lot of headshot. No, I'm sitting here because I surrender. I'm sitting here because I had conscious contacts with God on a daily basis. That's why I'm sitting here. And I put the action in. I continue to do that. Recovery is an inside job. Action. It's a program of action. So step 2 is the cornerstone. We came to believe. I was a Muslim. I used to pray every time I had an exam, please God, let me pass it, please God. And the next day I'm smoking weed, laughing at everyone in my country and just causing mayhem. You telling me you're a believer? You telling me you believe in God? You telling me you go to the church, you're reading some spiritual books where your behavior tells me that you have no belief, because it's all about action. How do you act around people? How do you treat your wife? How do you treat your sponsors? How do you treat your loved ones? Or are you really just preaching but not practicing these principles in all our affairs? Step 3 is the keystone for the rest of the steps. So I can walk into the triumph arch to freedom. Look at it in a dictionary. Triumph arch is like something that you would find in heaven. An arch to freedom. So I have 1, 2, and 3. Step 1, I can't. Step 2, he can. Step 3, I let him. So I have a foundation. Why are you afraid of step 4? That's why he said we've taken a fearless moral inventory, because we've got 1, 2, and 3. You know what I mean? So I'm able to look at myself. The inventory was mine, not the people that raped me for days and ends. The inventory was mine, not my stepdad that used to rape me. The inventory was mine, not my mum that was too drunk to protect me from all these men raping me when I was young. The inventory was mine, not this drug dealer selling me drugs. The inventory was mine, not my ex-husband that used to beat me up for 12 years. The inventory was mine, not my second husband that introduced me to crack and all kind. No. Blame, blame, blame. I have to look at myself. Recovery is a mirror. Please, Amal, I used to sit in the front row of the convention. I used to borrow money to drive miles away to take a meeting in St. Prison. I used to travel in the snow, in the rain, waiting for a bus 2 hours in Surrey to open a meeting in Highdown and Downview. I used to sit always in the front row, jumping up and down, fighting for my key rings. Where's my key rings? Where's my key ring? That's why I'm here. I am hungry for this. I will fight you for my key rings, because this is about life and death. I don't care if you like me or if you don't. I'm not here to serve people. Flesh cannot keep me sober. I love everybody, but it's about me and God. If I'm stuck in a plane crash and there's no sponsor, no big book, no nothing, it's about me and God. It's within. So that's second reading. HIV positive. My son was adopted. I lost my 2 daughters. I lost my home. I was put in one room. And yet I stayed sober. Using was no, or drinking was never an option. I have been restored to sanity. Like I said, rarely have we seen a person fail who had thoroughly followed our path. Nothing can but thoroughness and honesty from the very start. Honest to yourself. Because we're good at talking. We're addicts. We're alcoholics. We're good at manipulation. You can manipulate your sponsor. You can manipulate the whole meeting. But what about God that you serve? You see, I don't want to stand before my Creator guilty, because I respect my God. Because I sit here by its grace. I signed the contract to go to any length to serve and continue to serve. And my God will give me everything I want, which is within. Not the power, not the money, not the clothes, not the boyfriend. I was single for years. I'm still single. It's giving me peace. I wake up looking to brush my teeth. I wake up looking for cereal. I wake up to serve the elderly people. I'm still visiting the elderly people. I made sure they got new beds, new stair lift. I'm fighting the council for them. I'm buying flowers for them. I'm taking them out. I don't have to. I worked all through the quarantine. All the carers were furloughed because I could get paid. The government sent me letters threatening me that I will get done for it because I shouldn't be out there HIV positive. I hid from them because I want to serve. I want to help the elderly. I want to go shopping for them. You know, and that's how it is. It's what we do what makes a difference. So what do? You see, the page 68 tells us we're now on a different basis. The basis trust and rely upon God rather than infinite self. We're in this world to play the role God has assigned, just to the extent to what He would have us be. We humbly rely upon Him or her, whatever you believe in. He enables us to match calamity with serenity. So what does God want you to be? You got a neighbor who's disabled. Why don't you go shopping and drop some food for her? You know, you got a son who's on drugs. Why don't you reach out to him? or you don't want to know because you're clean and sober. No. Some people never forgive us. Our family never approve of us. My mum and my brother still say that I'm a crackhead, I'm this and that, la, la, la. Yeah, that's how I get it. But it's what I do what makes a difference. Love conquers all. When you bring anger, that's all you're going to get. Stepping on the toes of our fellows, and sometimes they retaliate. They hurt us seemingly without provocation. Above everything, we must get rid of selfishness or it will kill us. Not drink that will kill us. Selfishness. Always in collision with something or somebody, even our motives are good. Oh, you're nice to your girlfriend, but she's horrible to you. Oh, you're reaching out to your sponsor, but she don't want to talk to you. You go to a meeting, you said hello, somebody turned their face, so you're angry now. Self-seeking people's approval. You've been nice, that's all what matters. Maybe they've got something going on for them. Always want people to act the way you want them to. Love is unconditional. That is about you and not them. You want to control the situation because they're not doing what you want them to do. You know, cease fighting anything or anyone. Dash drugs and alcohol. I don't care what you people do. I don't care what my sponsors do if they want to work the step they don't want to. It's not my business. They're lost. I'm not here to control you or sack you because you used. I would go to the drug house and get you out as long as you got the willingness. It's about love. This is about love. You know, so I look at my fear. Fear is not real. It's a parading threat. God is love. How could I hate my rapist and come and be a witness, start preaching about God? You see, love and hate cannot be friends. I cannot resent my rapist and preach and do God's will. I'm just a witness. Relieve me of the bondage of myself, my dishonesty, my selfishness, my resentment and fear, so I can come to this beautiful AA and share the message of hope. Take away my difficulties, being a child, being positive. My daughter's not well mentally, being alone. My family's not here. You know, all of that. I'm not that healthy greatly, so I can do you well. You know, that's how it is. I'm just a witness, like Bill and Bob and all of those that come before us. Step 7, I'm just a witness. I look at my sexual conduct if you keep harming others, causing bitterness, jealousy, and suspicion. Something's been missed somewhere. I've entered the word of spirit. It's had to have a psychic change, rearrangement of thinking. The common sense become uncommon sense, the big book says. So who I was before, I cannot be that same dick that I was when I came in. I have to work with honesty, integrity, humility, respect, or, you know, loyalty. You know what I mean? Dedication, motivation, accountability. As a member of Cocaine Anonymous, the role model to newcomers. I go to some meetings, people getting mad. Newcomers, they run off, they go back to use. We're role models. Everything had to be sane, sound, ideal. Align with God's will for our life. Recovery is sanity. It's about change. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. If you sincerely say sorry, all remarkable things will happen. But remorse, guilt is another form of spiritual disease again. Sitting, wallowing, oh my God, I didn't share good. Oh my God, I fell short with my responsibility. Oh my God, I'm not good enough. Why are you blaming yourself? God has forgiven you. Move on. Tomorrow is another day. What you practice, you become. Practice makes perfect. 6 and 7, God is or isn't. All those defects of character that were removed, you know, for me, that my sponsor highlighted, I have to replace them. I am responsible for replacing them. Working with honesty and loyalty and all of that. God can only do for me what I cannot do for myself. God only helps people that get up and do things. You know what I'm saying? So step 8 and 9, I go out and make amends. I made amends to my stepdad. I make amends to everybody. I make amends to everybody. If I said anything that touched your soul, maybe you needed to know how hopeless and helpless you are and get off that big high horse and think that it's you that got yourself sober. No. We are people that never stop drinking and drugging. Look at us. Look what happened in this COVID. I've been all over the world without a flight. So the first 9 steps I'm about to wrap up now are designed to awaken my spirit so I'm no longer driven. Fear, delusion, self-seeking, self-pity. Nah, that doesn't come near me. You see, the devil will flee away from you when you pray. You know, it doesn't come near me now. He laughs, he goes, because he had half of my life. He took everything away from me. Not anymore. I refuse to feel the guilt and shame. I refuse to let the enemy do that to me because this disease is the devil's work. Because you see people doing well, all of a sudden they try and pick up. It's sad and they lose everything. Makes me cry. So the first 9 steps are designed to wake my spirit. 10, 11, and 12 to keep me awake. So when I cause a little problem, you know, I don't get any resentments. I had a resentment with myself the other day, beeping at someone. Beep, 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 because I need to get somewhere. When I look at the man, he's very old, like 80 years old. I was so embarrassed. So now I drive very slow. You know what I mean? So that's how it is. I'm going to finish on step 11, prayer and meditation. Shame on me if I don't wake up and give praise to my God. This is not a religious program, by the way, guys. Many religious people couldn't get this. Just like that guy, son of a minister, page 57. And he couldn't do anything. He couldn't stay sober. His father could save him, and he was a pastor. But he felt the presence of God. You know, the presence that throw him, that it's hard to explain. I can't express it in words. He either had it or not. See, when I woke up in my bed crying for my son, and I find myself sober, that was God for me. First time I came in. Second day again, I thought, wow, there's God there. Third day, I'm having a shower. Fourth day, I'm actually in Tesco's buying a little food. Fifth day, I'm paying my TV license. The sixth day, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm looking to have my hair done for the first time in years, using and drinking. You know, slowly it grows. So, you know, step 11, prayer and meditation. I have to pray. And step 11 tells me every day is a day we must carry God's will into all our activity. All. How can I best serve? Thou will not mind. How can I best serve? Thou will not mind. The proper use of the word, it says it every minute, every day. So when you're harming someone, calls their name, somebody calls you harm, a sponsor treated you bad, pray for them. A sponsor was horrible, with you, talks about you, gossip. I have all of this happening. Pray for them. They reach out to me. I'm sorry. I said, that's fine. I forgive you. Whatever. I don't want to resent anyone, because when I resent you, I'm going to drink again. No one is worth my anger or worry. Let them go. Let them do what they want, whatever they want to do, whatever they want to say. There was a speaker called Mark Houston, you know, God rest his soul. If you've never heard him, I would suggest you go online and put Mark H. from Alabama. He died a few years ago. He used to say, whatever is a spiritual tool. Go here, go there. You know, kill yourself, call yourself now. I don't care. Whatever you want to do, thou will not mind be done. And step 12 is spreading the message of hope. Shame on me if I don't come here and share honestly with integrity. Shame on me if I don't continue to help others. Like I said, I'm here to serve and not to be served. So every time I help you and you pray to God, God blesses me. And every time I help another person and they pray to God again, God blesses me some more. So it's all from within, you know, it comes from within. It's just powerful stuff. Because God will always look after me. Because my dependence is up on something great. So I'm safe and protected. Nothing can touch me. You can touch my outside. You can hate me. You can call me names. What I have is from within. You're going to have to cut my head, chop it off, you know, for me to actually not feel this presence. And probably my body will still shake, you know. I think I'm going to leave it there. Sorry I didn't keep it on those 2 readings. But like I said, death, HIV, losing kids and that, it's not an option to pick up. You know, it is about surrendering. And if you really, really want what we have, you're honestly, sincerely willing to go to any level, you will stay sober. There you are. If I could do it after using for 28 years, I'm sure you can. Thank you for letting me be of service. I'm going to leave it there. Much